Okay, so good morning, everyone. It's Tuesday, 3rd of October. We're in the last quarter of the year. But what a great quarter it's going to be, because last night on our kickoff call, Jeff Isom and Luis Kasuga announced some significant incentives. And significant is almost feels like it's an inadequate word to describe what is on the table right now. We've got so much going on. And it's our privilege and pleasure to have with us today Royal Diamond Mike DiMuccio, who's going to share some of his thoughts and feelings on what's going on as well, and some of the things that we've been working on together behind the scenes that we're launching right now. So with that being said, buckle up, I think is the best way to describe this call today. So as we saw last night, a new incentive was offered, put on the table. It's in addition to everything else that is currently on the table, which is remarkable in and of itself. It's not replacing anything right now. It is a new additional incentive, and perhaps the most lucrative incentive of all time. 20% extra commission being paid out from the month of October all the way through to the end of the year. Of course, it's going to run, as they mentioned, all the way through next year as well. So anyone that you sponsor, this is really helping us get a focus and a priority on business building activities. Other incentives focus on customer acquisition, customer engagement, customer retention. This is really all about business activities, new distributor and partner acquisition, engagement, and retention. We know statistically from our industry numbers, these are not Nikken specific, this is industry-wide, that if we can help people to be active, profitable, and successful within the first 3 months of being in business, the chances of them remaining active and engaged 12 months down the road is significantly increased. If they are not profitable, if they've not made a little bit of money up front within those first few months, if they haven't had a rank advancement, if they haven't gotten some money in their pocket, if that hasn't happened in those first 3 months, we also know that that's a surefire way to make sure that they are disengaged and inactive and maybe not even renewing when the 12-month mark hits. What does this mean? It means it's really important as we bring new people in. We all know the effort index that goes in, that is applied in acquiring a new distributor, a new business partner, right? So if we want to really make that effort count, we want to make sure that they don't just come in and we go, oh, win. They signed the contract. They're in. They're officially a Nikken consultant. That doesn't define a win. A win is when they start getting money in their pocket, they start believing in themselves, and they start going, hey, I can do this. This is going to work for me. And I've got evidence. One of the most important things that we can give them is evidence straight away that they can succeed and win. And that's exactly what this incentive does. It helps people get started right away in making extra money right up front for building their business. So with that being said, Mike, I want to get your viewpoint, your thoughts and feelings on this, because I know, we've had lots of conversations behind the scenes on all of this, and I know exactly what you're thinking and feeling, which is why you're here today. So fill us in. What are your thoughts?
Well, it's massive. I mean, this incentive is as big as it gets. It's as if everybody in Nikken right now is a silver, and everybody they enroll this point forward, including these people, it's as if they're a direct for the next 4 months. You're making that spread plus whatever else you've already qualified for the next 4 months of that person's life. And then the new people that you brought in, same thing. It's as if they got a promotion to silver regardless of their rank. And now they're going to, for the next 4 months, enjoy the benefits of that override on the people that they enroll for the next 4 months of their life. So it's insane. It's absolutely rich in terms of network marketing, in terms of compensation for the activity. I mean, it's really rich compared to anything I've ever seen. So I'm supercharged about that. I can feel it in me. I can hear it when I'm telling other people about it. I had a call just before this one, and they're like, so like, what's new? And I'm like, well, it's like a whole new Nikken is new. It's like that. And they're really supercharged about what I'm saying, because now they want to investigate it because they hear my excitement. And I know what's on the table here. It's for people who are looking to actually generate income. This is a really incredible opportunity. For somebody who's looking to build an organization, you couldn't do it in better circumstances than we're creating right now. So that's part of it. I did some calculations. So if I can share my screen here, which I can, I'm going to show you what this represents in terms of money. So what we have here is the items that I chose to work with here. So the waterfall being one item, the waterfall pack, the sleep pack for the queen, and the energy pack. I don't know why it's missing its ID number there, but anyway, it's the combination of the energy pack. So everything that we do in terms of our presentations going forward, you're going to see this. You're going to see good, better, best. You're going to hear us talking about good, better, best. What kind of money can be made if somebody joins good and duplicates good, better and duplicates better, and then best is implied. So I started doing the calculations based on this new accelerator bonus, and you can see the numbers in red represent the additional income that's coming from the accelerator bonus. So in our example that we use with respect to getting somebody started and launching them, by the way, speaking of which, the best I hope for as a sponsor is to give my new person the best start I know how to give them. And that's changed with time. I got better at this as I went along, but the goal is always the same. I want to give them vested interest, as Dave would say. I want to give them a reason to stick around, which means I want to put numbers on the scoreboard where they're concerned. Otherwise, they won't have vested interest. They won't take the time to learn. They won't take the time to really investigate Nikken beyond just getting in. So helping somebody get the best start possible is always what I want. And we're going to talk about how we're going to help you with that in a second. But let's say we do a launch campaign, and the result of that first month's effort is our core circle of influence, which means we've enrolled some customers, we've enrolled some consultants, out of which we've got maybe 5 key customers and 3 partners, meaning people who did as we did, because that's what we're going to actually start encouraging people to do. Do something and encourage others to do what you did. That's the game. So now, if we went with simply a water pack, and we had 5 customers and 3 partners. So you started with a water pack, and now here comes your opening month. And as a result of that opening month, you've attracted some customers and some consultants who bought a water pack. And this is just on the water pack. What I'm showing you is the rank advancement that you would experience, the totals for each of those activities. It's broken down because you're going through rank advancements as you're actually going through this process. And essentially, you're earning about $1,240, an extra almost $250 that you would not have earned because of this accelerator bonus for having sponsored 3 people who bought a water pack. That's twice the investment, return on your investment. So I'm just showing somebody how, if they had invested in a water pack themselves, this is how they were going to double their investment, their money back, just in their first month with the activity. Now, what if they duplicated an energy pack and a sleep pack? The better option. Good was the first option, better is the other. So we do the same thing, same number of people join. Again, you see in red the additional bonuses that are being earned thanks to the accelerator bonus. And a person who invested in an energy pack and a sleep pack, which, let's see, up at the top is around $1,374 retail. So let's round it up to about $1,500. They put in $1,500 in purchases, and now they're duplicating that and generating $5,109.30 in return. That's about a 2.5 times return. Again, just in launching their business. So they're not only launching their business, but they're making money launching their business. They're actually making a return launching their business. Now, let me give you one really interesting example. Are you able to see this, Ben?
Yeah. Can I just add a point to this?
Yeah.
That I think is really important. In many income examples that you see in network marketing, and we've used a lot of these examples in the past, this one is very different to other income examples that you'll see. And let me explain the difference. When we've taught in the past things like teach 3 to reach 3, for example, what we're doing there is we're giving income examples that are based on beyond your direct circle of control. The people that I influence in terms of who I recruit as customers and distributors, it goes beyond that into who they recruit and who they recruit and who they recruit. And that's where you get some of these fantastic income examples. It's also where places like the FTC turn around and say, you can't really share these income examples because you don't have that much control that far down the line in the duplication process. We can argue the amount of influence we have in that duplication process, but This income example is very different. Why? Because it is all based on your own personal activity. So when Mike is saying you're generating $1,500, that is not from you recruiting a few who recruit a few who recruit a few. This is from you getting customers and you getting your personally recruited distributors, your frontline. This is your personal activity and the results that this generates. And that's why I think this income example is so powerful, because you have 100% control over it.
100%, Ben. Couldn't have said it better myself. And not just you, but this is also for the whoever you've enrolled. You are showing that person who you've enrolled what their personal activity can result in. So the emphasis then becomes, what does a good launch look like? It's an explosive launch. It means it's stuff they can control, not stuff that they can't control. That's a real big thing. It's not, oh, if you sponsor one and you help them sponsor one and you help them sponsor one, and you'll be there forever. I call it like cooking pasta, one noodle at a time. By the time you assemble a plate of pasta, it's going to be a lousy meal. So you want to get all those noodles in the hopper all at the same time, all in the pot at the same time, cooking all at the same time, and now you're going to have a nice meal. So that's a launch. Now here's an interesting one. This is interesting because this is the powerhouse waterfall. Okay, so if you go to powerhouse, which is maybe the least a person can do, the least a person can do is buy a waterfall and duplicate a waterfall. Let's say that's the least anybody's going to do if they're doing this as a business. I confirmed with Niken that it's cumulative. You get not only this new accelerator bonus, but you get the powerhouse bonus on top of it, just like you did previous. That's going for the rest of this year, which means if we sponsored 3 people and had 5 customers, we would have at least completed one powerhouse. If they all purchased one waterfall, we would have completed a powerhouse. But here's the thing. Check out the return. It's a 2.5 times return. So if somebody invested in a waterfall, what's the waterfall? Cost of the waterfall, $468. So round it up to $500. They put about $500 in to get their business started. And just by launching their business, it's a multiple of 2.5 times in their first month. That's a good launch. That's a heck of a launch. And we're not talking about insane numbers. We're just saying they have at least 5 customers who've purchased the waterfall using the powerhouse link, and at least 3 consultants who joined. And it doesn't even matter whether they purchased it at retail or wholesale, because the accelerator bonus kicks in as a consultant. So you're still generating the revenue as if they were a customer. And so here we go. This is an amazing way to present Niken if you're really going to start on the small end of the scale. A great duplicatable plan. I want to show you one other thing. So what we've been talking about, we're really excited about, and I want to thank Ben for this awesome graphic, is mining for diamonds. We were talking, the NFL, the Niken Field Leaders executive team, have been talking a lot. I mean, we meet now twice a week. We used to meet once a week. Now it's become twice a week. We have a meeting again this afternoon. And we've been putting our heads together to think out loud and brainstorm about, what do we as Niken Field Leaders do? It's not just to fan the flames and teach what we've learned. It's to strategically help the company move in this new arena, move into this new space and own this new space of Niken Wellness becoming a premier company, a premier wellness solution based on its origins. And so I can't remember who said it or how it was said, but it was like, do you realize that most of the states in the United States don't have any activity? Like, it's like nobody even knows Niken exists, never mind who's doing anything. So I was, I don't know, having a shower or something. That's usually when good ideas hit me. And it was like, wait a second, if we were doing this, wouldn't we want, think about it, a corporation who wants to get their name out there, their brand out there, wouldn't they want some leadership and representation in every state and every province in North America? I mean, wouldn't that be the obvious thing? If we were selling insurance, would you not want to have an office in every state? Would you not want to have representation? Of course you would. no matter what it is. If your goal is North America, then your goal is to have representation in every one of those states and provinces. And I'm thinking, well, what's the representation we're looking for? We're looking for diamonds, because what follows diamonds is big organizations, lots of customers, lots of activity, and definitely representation. So how come somebody said mining for diamonds on our call? And those two ideas hit me at the same time. It was like, that's it. That's the plan. So we got together, we discussed it, and we started putting together, how does this actually look? How would we apply ourselves? And so mining for diamonds, our strategy for growth, one new diamond in every state and every province in North America. And how we're going to support this is really simple. Since our time is very precious and we can only put our energy into people who are serious and committed, how do we make that distinction? You guys know it's not always a talk, right? Talk is cheap. How do we know we have somebody worth their weight and putting our time and attention to, which could also include travel plans into support their events locally? Who would I put the time and energy into? Who would Ben put the time and energy into? They're going to have proven themselves some way. They're going to have to have established themselves some way. They're going to have to understand how we do things our way. And so this program, the 18K Accelerator team, is about identifying those people who we can invest our time and energy with going forward to create and cultivate that diamond ship in each state, in each province. Where you come in, if you so choose, is to become the sponsor of that person. We're not even asking you to be that person. We're saying, be the, I think Dennis Williams said something that was great. I love what he said. If you don't think you're any good at this business, that's okay. Just find somebody who is. That's the point. The next generation. Let's find somebody who is really good for this business and who could excel in this business with the right coaching and mentoring. And if you're the person who happens to be their sponsor, well, you're going to be laughing all the way to the bank. So that's how you can help us get this job done, is start asking yourself, who do I know in every state and every province? Who could I make this offer to? Who could I present an offering like this, where it's not just about getting into Niken, it's about taking ownership of an entire state, being the person people know and acknowledge as the leader of that particular region of the country. That's what we're talking about. So it's sponsoring and recruiting at a completely different level. That gets me so fired up. That's got me the most excited of all the things that I've been doing in the last decade, I assure you. So this is what we're going to be talking about, and more and more. So if you want to know what we're doing, stay close to the fire, because this is where it's hot.
Yeah, Mike, thank you so much. Yeah, I think this program is fantastic, because especially combined, here we are talking about how we can accelerate someone's journey to get to gold, which is today's equivalent of yesterday's silver, right? Because people were doing more than that to get to silver in a month. Here we are saying, let's help people get to gold. This is where the activity and the shining kind of element of the business really starts to appear. We're wanting to get you there fast. We're wanting you to get there efficiently. We want you to get there confidently, and we're going to team up and provide the infrastructure and the support so that you can get there and have the best experience you can with those people that you're bringing in. The great thing is you combine that with what Niken has introduced with the Accelerator bonus incentive. And not only do you get there with more support from your upline, you're also going to be getting them people there with more money in their pockets. So this is the best time possible to really start setting some ambitious goals. And one thing that Luis said yesterday, which I thought was interesting and is worth repeating, he said, we didn't want to wait till January 1st to introduce this incentive. We want to introduce it now so that we can get get some traction, get some activity, get some growth happening now, so that when 1st of January comes for 2024, we've hit the road running and we're off to the races already. We're running at full speed. So this is really your build up to 2024. So what I would say is, as you look at what Mike and I have shared with you this morning and what was shared last night, and layer on top of that all the other things that Niken has been doing in terms of adding value to the back office, providing training support, adding business kits, and adding all these new tools and resources, as you look at all of the infrastructure that's being put in place and all these added bonuses, look at the time of year that we're at now. Don't wait for January 1st or for the end of December, the last week of December, to start sitting down and say, okay, what are my plans for 2024? What am I going to achieve? What are my goals? Then is not the time to set those goals. Now is the time to do it. So my invitation to you today is to think seriously about what you want to accomplish in 2024. Do you want to be one of those diamonds? Or as Mike said, do you want to facilitate someone else becoming one of those diamonds? If you're worried that maybe you don't have the skills, do you at least think that you could find someone that does have those skills and put them in touch with Mike and I and Dave and Barbara and Susan Carver and any other leaders that we've got participating in this program that are going to help get them to across the line and where they need to be? If that's the case, I want to invite you today to reach out, DM Mike, myself, or Dave Rolfe, and say, hey, I'm really interested in participating in that Accelerator program, be a part of that team. I want in. And if you haven't fully defined your goals for 2024 yet, don't worry about that. That's going to be part of the process. But if you're feeling it right now, if you're excited about the income that can be generated, if you're excited by everything that Niken's putting on the table, now is the time to raise your hand. The best time to make a commitment is when you're feeling it. So if you're feeling it right now, DM us, private message us, let us know that you're in, you want to be involved, and you want to make sure that the people that you sponsor aren't just getting money in their pocket better than ever before, but we're going to help get them to gold as well. Okay, so any thoughts? And of course, please use the chat. I've got people starting to add to the chat here as well. Thank you, Sue. We're glad that you're excited about this. I think this is really, really exciting. I've noticed that Dave is on the call as well. Dave, do you want to maybe unmute your line and give us your perspective on what this incentive can do for new people coming into the business, what this can do for recruiting and business building? Do you want to maybe unmute and share a thought or two?
Well, thanks, Ben. Appreciate it. Right now, I'm on a mini vacation at Stinson Beach and looking at the ocean and the waves. And so I didn't know about, so I wasn't totally prepared, but I'm going to say this. As you know, I'm a true proponent of understanding how things work so that you can make them work. And the more you understand how something works, then the easier it is to make it work for yourself and your situation and circumstance. And all the conversations that we've been having with the new field leadership group and the company and going in there and spending time in the meeting were all created to develop ideas that we could use as individuals to build our businesses. Now, myself and Mike and Ben have had the opportunity of long-term building growth and fantastic wins and excitement as being a part of this. And we, all talk about, we want that for everybody else as well. So the key to this program from my eyes right now is it's focusing on recruitment. Now, I'm just going to bring up two very interesting points. One is we only do two things. One is we find customers, and two, we find distributors who find customers and other distributors. But it's the distributor that finds the customer. And so you grow and expand by delegating responsibility and creating opportunity to allow other people to utilize what you have to get going. What we observed was there is a runway. And this program that Niken has introduced is going to make that runway more palatable and create more economic energy to get through. We all know from experience that it takes a bit of time to build a very successful business, and you need to understand that so you can look at this in the appropriate terms for what it is. What was really fascinating last night, what Luis said was, and this is going through all of 2024. So it's not just the last part of 2023, but it's 2023 all the way into 2024. And with what we know is coming in December, it's going to be terrifically exciting to add this to that. And, so in other words, the group, I did a we're doing a beta test on my book, and what we talked about was the fact that everybody in Nikken is one giant team. And when all pieces of the puzzle, all participants of the team are firing effectively, this thing works like magic. And not that there's anything magical about it. It's good old-fashioned work that gets the job done, but it's everybody's firing at the same time makes it work. And it's the old 100th monkey theory, and you can look that one up. It's a fascinating theory on group agreement. The establishment of the group, which is what we're doing with this 18K and Accelerator program, and the people in every state and all that sort of stuff, is to help make the group bigger. Because here's the data: when the group is bigger, you can become bigger. Just think about that for a moment. When the group is bigger, you can become bigger because of the energy of the group. And one of the things that's been lacking in the last few years was the activity of a group, and so we put that back in. So with that being said, Ben, I think that the timing is perfect for what we've got going. It's time to pull up your bootstraps and get out there and do the old-fashioned thing. And what's really exciting about this is you now have a nicer story, a more attractive story, a more interesting story to put out in front of somebody to help them solve their problem. And that's how it works in the beginning. So looking forward to it. I've already got a couple of people that are ready to do the 15K, so I'm excited.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Dave. Loved hearing your input. And one thing that Dave has always, I've heard him say it over and over again, is so much of the solution to the challenges that people face in business, in our business, is education. And the nice thing about this incentive is it's so simple to understand, simple to teach, and simple to apply. So it's really made it very, very simple and straightforward for all of us to go, I know what I need to do, and all I need to understand is I'm going to get paid better for doing it. That's a really nice way to put it. So Barbara, you got your hand raised. Let's get your input, because
yeah, I'm just so excited, and kudos to Luis. We have thrown a lot of things up the flagpole and lots of ideas, and he's really making a lot of things come to fruition, and I've never seen him blindside Mike with this was a big deal. This was really great. It was like, oh my gosh. So I actually put it out to the field. I invite y'all to take a map of North America. If you're Canadian, do your, all the territories. If you're in North America, or both, you can actually do both. Doesn't matter where you're recruiting. But I'm going to put the United States up, and I know people in all these countries, and these cities, these states, and what a game to play, right? What a way to get it out there and to really just reunite and connect with people. So I say, make it a game. Let's have some friendly competition. Who's going to be in this state, and I got somebody in this state, and just really make it a team effort of getting our word out, because we all know these products are priceless. They are life-altering technologies, but now there's the funding to go behind it. So in all different ways, right? So that 5 pillars of health, and more people these days are needing multiple sources of income. And so, yeah, kudos to Nikken, Mike, and Ben. Y'all were right on the skirt tails, creating this, good, better, best, and the packs and the things, and taking it to the streets, guys. Let's do it. This is awesome.
Excellent.
Thanks.
Thank you so much, Barbara. I'll finish with just one last comment. One of the things that people often evaluate when they're looking at a business opportunity like ours is what is referred to as the effort index. How much effort do I need to put in for what I get in return? This balance of the effort put in and the return received has been bent to your advantage with what's on the table that we've shared with you today, in multiple contexts. In one way, it's improved because you have a system in place now, a rhythm. Mike refers to the rhythm of the business, a rhythm and a system in place with leaders there to support and guide you through the process step by step, so that you can have everything that you need for a brand new person to thrive and succeed if they want to. okay? Because of course they need to want it, right? That's an important part of it. But we can guide them through that process and walk them through it with all the infrastructure set up and in place. You got the business tools in place, you got the training tools in place, you got the leadership in place, and on top of all of that, you've just gotten a 20% pay rise. So the income that you generate is increased by 20%, which is just, I think, fantastic. So everyone has been given a promotion, everyone has been given a pay rise. It's nice and simple, easy to explain, but we do need people to get out there and run with this. So I look forward to seeing my DMs blow up. I'm sure Mike and Dave and Barbara are excited to see their phones blow up as well, with people saying, count me in, count me in, count me in. But let's do this, because over the next few months, we've got a wonderful runway so that we can hit 2024 at the fastest pace. We're going to be at full sprint come January 1st. And what an exciting time this is. So my goodness, things are aligning majestically, wonderfully. So thank you all very much. Have a great week. Any questions?
I want to add one more thing.
Yeah.
If you really kick-started this month, you could win the 2000 Boss event funds. I
Yeah.
mean, this is like handed it over to us, guys. So let's have our whole trips paid as well.
Yeah,
Okay,
we've
just
got
wanted to
double
add that.
dipping,
Thank
triple
you.
dipping, all sorts going on right now, where you've got incentive layering on top of incentive layering on top of incentive here. So it's great. So thank you all very much, and we'll see you real soon. Take care.